Okay, so welcome everyone. This is our agenda for the evening. Going to do some brief introductions, then tell you a bit about the legacy of this Ghana project, because you're not the first from Kent Scouts going to Ghana. We're then at 8 o'clock, whatever stage we're at in this presentation, we're going to flip over and link with African Adventures, the company that we're going with. So we've got a different Microsoft Teams link that we need to click on, and hopefully we can get African Adventures on the screen to talk to you. And then afterwards, or before, I'll be carrying on, tell you about Scouts Against Malaria. Lots of the practical stuff that they don't cover with African Adventures that's more relevant to us as Scouts, as going on the trip. And then there'll be time for questions. And we can also, hopefully, if we've got time, have a look at some of the donations that people have brought in terms of how we're going to get them out there and spread them around. Okay, I'm going to start with a video. Okay, see if it'll keep into action. Good start, isn't it? There we go. Okay, so that video is from the first time that Kent Scouts went to Ghana with African Adventures, and that was in 2018. We have 4 Africa projects that I'm responsible for. So we've got our Ghana project. We also have our Zanzibar project, which is heading off back to Zanzibar next year, 2027. I'm then leading a team to Kenya in 2028. And back to Botswana in 2029. So those are our Africa projects. We've also recently released our Costa Rica project. It's a special project, and we have a number of special projects like the ones we did to the Arctic and the Antarctic. So the Peru and the Costa Rica are not something we're going to do every 4 years. They are sort of special one-off projects. But we're here tonight to talk about Ghana. The other part of my role, as well as being responsible for visits abroad, is community impact, and the two link quite well. So a lot of the things that we do in community within Kent often links up. For instance, Lion Aid is a Kent charity, and we're linking up with them when we go to Kenya. And Scouts Against Malaria, we would encourage you all to get involved with that when you go out to Ghana. And also we do that when we go out to Botswana and to Zanzibar as well. So that's a little bit about my role within Kent Scouts. Now, the leadership team, I'm going to introduce you to Lydia, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Lydia, and I've been with Scouts since 2020, and I have done a few international expeditions prior to scouting, but since also being in scouting. So I took a group with Alan to Kenya, went out to Lewisham with Kenya with Lewisham last year as well. So Ghana just made sense really. And I'm also going out to Costa Rica, and I've done the Arctic. Oh, that's a lot actually.
Yeah, you've done quite a few. Yeah,
I've done the Arctic earlier this year as well. So.
Okay, right. I'll shout out another name. If you're here, could you say hello? So Nikki.
I'm here. Hi, I'm Nikki. I've been a Scout since birth because my parents were both Scout leaders. So I feel that I think that's the easiest way to say it. I'm a cover leader in Thanet and have been involved in Scouts kind of as a leader for 20 odd years. This is my first international. Yeah. I'm very, very excited.
Your husband's been on one.
He's been. We signed up the same weekend and he got to go to Botswana last year before me. That's a bit rude. But yeah, I'm mega excited being the first international, but I've held a night's away permit for 15 years anyway. Just my children are now old enough to leave behind and I hope they survive with my husband.
Okay. Ellie, can you hear us? No? Right. Well, I'll remotely introduce Ellie. So Ellie is sitting up there in Scotland watching this presentation. Hopefully she can probably hear me, but we can't hear her technology. So Ellie and her partner Tamsin. Tamsin has been to Ghana twice before, so she's been on the previous 2 trips. and she wants to go again. So she's going as an assistant leader. What's great for you guys is you've got somebody who's been 3 times, this will be her 3rd time. And she went first as a young person and then twice as a leader. So she's really, really got a lot of experience with this particular trip and can be very supportive to you in terms of things that you may need to ask. Ricky is here. Yeah, he's here. You can introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Ricky. I'm Lydia's husband. She keeps signing me up to these things, so I keep going. It's the truth of it. I'm club leader based in Maidstone over at Leeds Kingswood. I've been doing that for a couple of years now. Previously, I came from the Isle of Sheppey, where I was working with group there for about 10 years. Like with Lydia, I've been out to Kenya a couple of times, done the Arctic, heading out to Ghana, and then Costa Rica.
Yeah. Diane, you're here? Yeah, it's right at the back.
I'm in the doorway. I'm Diane. I'm an explorer leader from Maidstone, into Castle. Been to Kenya. My son went to Ghana, so we've both done a basic swap. So I'm going to get Ghana, and he's going to go to Kenya. Just something to compare now. I'm also going to Costa Rica. That's me, really.
That's great.
What you see is what you get.
Okay. Aaron's not here, I don't think. No, so Aaron's a planet leader, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, do you know anything about Aaron? No.
He's been to Peru.
He went on the Peru trip, didn't he? Yeah. And he's signed up for every single international Kent Scouts trip since. So I think he wants to go to Costa Rica, Botswana. He's signed up for all of them. So obviously he enjoyed Peru. So, yeah. Suze?
I do the scout, oh no, I do the cub section. I was lucky enough to go to Grange. It was pretty fabulous. So I've signed up for a few marathon trips as well. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Cool. And Teresa, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Join us. I'll put the volume up a little. And if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Group Scout Leader in Grange, but I've spent many years in that group, Beaver Leader, Cub Leader, helping out in the Scouts. Both my boys have done international camps through Scouting. And yeah, my eldest encouraged me to go, having spoken to Alan on the recent Nightmare, the Phallic Run competition. So yeah, I'm excited to go. It's my first international after many years in Scouting, but yeah, they've been really supportive. So my turn to go.
Yeah, and I know Lydia's going to pick your brains as a fellow district lead volunteer now when you're at that. So. Group lead volunteer. Yeah, group lead volunteer. Yeah.
I was ADC Beavers at one stage in the old version as well. So you know.
Okay. And then in the UK, you've got myself and David Rates are responsible for the international visits abroad. I will be your home contact when you're out there. So I will deal with any issues, and I've got a lot of experience of dealing with issues and things like pulling people off mountains in Peru and stuff like that. So, we will deal with any situation that arises while we're out there, and David will be around as well to support the team while they're out. Okay, so 2018, I had the pleasure of leading the trip out to Ghana. We did 2 projects in 2 different schools, so it was really interesting, and we got to switch between the 2 schools. I don't know if that's something you'll get. You may be going to one big school, you may go to 2 different schools.
I think it's one.
Yeah, it's probably planned at the moment as one, but ours changed the day we flew, so you never know what you're going to get basically with Africa. So you turn up and they will have a project for you by the time you get there. So we did a lot of making of bricks, and the heat was like it's been sort of this week. So we were working in that sort of heat making bricks, which was an experience. It was hot work, but we did that. The other school were taking the bricks and building a toilet block. There was also lots of teaching went on, lots of sports as well. So the Ghanaian kids love football, and so we actually had a football match against with our lot against their lot and stuff like that. So that went really well. It's 2018. You also get to do some amazing adventures, and you get to visit a waterfall, monkey sanctuary, up into the rainforest canopy. Absolutely fantastic. In the evenings, you also go on different smaller excursions, like we went on little boat trips. This is when we climbed a lighthouse. You can go to the beach. So there's lots of opportunity. They take you to a market, so you can buy some, local items and things like that. So it's not all work. You work really hard, you play really hard, and there's lots of downtime during the day because it gets very, very hot. So you tend to do your work in the cooler part of the day, and then chill out. Maybe do some games with the kids at the centre where you are in the afternoon, and maybe a campfire or sing song or whatever in the evening. But there is also there's cold drinks that you can get and so on in the evening when you're there. So it's a fantastic trip. Kent Scouts went back again. Another team. David led a team out there in 2022, and I understand they did a different building project. So you don't know what building project you're going to get. And there were some other activities they did that we didn't do. I think they did drumming, which was really cool. No, did we do drumming? I can't remember on this one. Tamsin will correct me because she's been 3 times. This is the actual centre. It has been expanded since they went. Apparently, they've added another whole section to it. So you'll be either in this block or there is a new block next to it. And this is the sort of area where you do activities in the evening and things like that. So it's quite remote, the place where you actually stay. Right. So we will, at 8 o'clock, go over to Martha and have the presentation from African Adventures. But I'm going to carry on for 10 minutes so that we can all get away promptly later. Right. Scouts Against Malaria. So this is a UK badge, but we work with African Scouts. And what we do is we train up Explorer Scouts and Network Scouts like yourself that are going to learn about malaria, learn about some of the ways that we can fight malaria, and you get the badge, and you then train up the younger sections. So with cubs, beavers, sometimes scouts, you can go and run sessions with the younger sections for them to get the badge. Everyone who does the badge raises £5 or just pays £5, and that goes to malaria nets that can be bought out in Africa and then distributed. So it's likely that when you're out there, you will be meeting with some of the local scouts, which is really interesting. And you may be working with them to distribute some malaria nets in the local area. Also, we've got some booklets that I'm hoping that you can take out in your luggage, because you get a nice luggage allowance. And those booklets can be distributed to the local scout leaders to help them learn about malaria.
So, already given me some of the thing.
Yeah.
Some of you took one away when we met in February, didn't you?
You did a brief.
Yeah.
Malaria bit in
I think he's posting us more.
Oh my.
Yeah, so we need to get the load. We probably need to take a suitcase full of them, yeah. So that's the Scouts Against Malaria. There's some pictures here of myself and David when we were distributing the nets. And it started very quietly, and then word got around the African village, and then more and more and more people started coming to get their free net. And it got to the stage where we had no more nets to give out. But we were explaining them to how to use them. This is us meeting with some of the local scouts and running a training session with them on Scouts Against Malaria. And that's when we all got our badge. Some of the project work. So you can see here the bricks. We took out quite a lot of resources. So what you want to do is think, how many of you are young leaders or leaders that are going? There's quite a few of you, yeah. So anything that you run with your beavers or your cubs or your scouts, just have a think, oh, is there any easy resources that I could take out that I could actually use with the scouts out there or with the young people out there that you'll be meeting? So if you've got any quick and easy games and things that you run with your younger sections, think about what you can take out there to run with them, especially any sort of team building games. They love that sort of thing. And we took out loads of resources so that they could make mosquitoes and things like that. So and then it'll be on the kit list, but make sure that you take some work gloves. It can be quite hard work when you're actually doing some of the building work. You get a chance to do the building work, the teaching, so you could take out some other things if you're going to be doing some teaching when you're out there, and I hope you all have to get at least one go at it. Then you can take out some resources that you might be able to use in the classroom. When you understand, and you will when you get back, that they have a classroom like this maybe, that's just dust on the floor, one blackboard, one piece of chalk. That's it. That's their resources. Okay. So anything you can take is going to be better. Okay. And it can really, really make a difference to them. If you take, just even if it's just a pack of, cocktail sticks to make something with or whatever. So we do have a code of conduct. I'll just quickly sort of go through it so that you've all heard it. Appropriate clothing must be worn as advised by team leaders. Okay, so the African Adventure staff and your team leaders going will advise you on what to wear for particular activities. Okay, you need to be respectful in a different culture. And sometimes what you might wear in the high street in Maidstone is not appropriate to wear in the high street there. Okay, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Don't worry, I tell you, but you're the project leader.
The way I would describe it is, I call it don't flash the flesh. You're going to a conservative Christian country. Even holding hands with a loved one can be a little bit like, what? So even though Rick and I are husband and wife, I certainly won't be giving him slop kisses or walking around skipping with his hand in my hand and that kind of thing. And I would strongly advise, I know that cycling shorts are quite popular to wear. They are going to be significantly more skin tight by virtue of being like a cycling or a jogging type shorts. And for a lot of people in Ghanaian cultures, that is not something they're used to. You'll get stared at. And actually, when I was in Tanzania many, many years ago, one of my young people did get slapped by a lady for effectively dressing inappropriately. Slapped her on the back of the leg to sort of say that's not okay. So to protect yourselves, because you should be able to wear what you want to wear, but you are going to a country where people may take a very strong dislike to that. So to protect yourselves, it needs to realistically be knee length if you're wearing shorts. So knee length type shorts. You shouldn't be showing your shoulders. You certainly shouldn't show cleavage. And boys, no nipples out, so no getting topless, running around when you play football and all that.
So
showing your belly buttons. It's
all particularly when you're out and about.
Yeah.
When you're back at the base or you're on the beach, there are exceptions, and the leaders will tell you. Okay, but it's particularly if you go to a market or something, you need to be dressed up. Okay. Consider if you want to take your mobile phone. You probably will. I'm not going to stop you taking your mobile phone, but be aware that after 2 days, you'll probably put it in your rucksack and not use it, because the reception's pretty diabolical out there. And it's very expensive to get the cards and things. But we all understand that most of you these days are going to use your mobile phone as your camera. Okay, so you will want to get those videos, get those photos. And that's probably going to be the best use of your mobile phone. In an emergency situation, everything will go through me as the home contact, and I will be contacting parents if we have any emergencies that we have to deal with. We will do that in the proper scouting manner. But we're not going to stop you updating your Facebook page, or if you manage to get connection, absolutely great. Quickly go through the others. No inappropriate language, no degrading or disrespectful comments, no bullying, no inappropriate sexual behaviour, no smoking out of designated areas. There will be a designated area if anyone does vape or smoke. no drinking alcohol at all for under 18s. That is a UK law. That is something that all scouts, Explorer Scouts under 18 will not be allowed to drink. And no drunkenness. So those of you that are 18 or over, moderation, and we won't be expecting people to get drunk. In terms of drugs, it's absolutely zero tolerance on drugs. If anyone is caught drugs on one of our global projects, not only will they be sent home at the cost of their parents or themselves, okay, but we will also charge you the cost of a leader to go with them if they're under 18. Okay, so that is an absolute it's a no-go. Okay, we do not expect to hear or see any drugs on the trip. Right, I've said it and it's been said. Please respond to the instructions of your leaders quickly and without question. Often they've got a good reason why they're telling you what to do, and you may not understand it or explain it at the time, and that we can deal with any issues afterwards. Just do your best to make us proud of Kent Scouts and follow the Scout law and promise. So let's press on. We do have a very comprehensive risk assessment now that has been updated from the first time we went, second time we went, and it's now going through a third review before this trip. So as you can imagine, we've got quite a comprehensive plan in place to deal with critical incidents, and I have had to use the critical incident plan. So it has been tested of how we work if there is a issue when we're out in either any African country or any country. But the risk assessment will be published up on the Padlet. So if you want to have a look at it or you have any questions about it, just come back to me. So that will be up and published before you go. We are hoping, like many trips that we have done with Kent Scouts now, that you will come up with some way as a group of remembering your trip. Now, this might be a journal. It might be a documentary that you make together with videos that you all sort of get video clips and put them together. It might be some sort of mood board that you create or artwork. Okay, so we're not going to dictate how you as a group record your trip, but if you want to put a diary together with photographs and each of you do a day or something, have a think about how you want to do that, and you can sort of chat about it and let Lydia know. But it'd be really good if we could produce either a PDF or a video or a printed book or something. We've done all sorts in the past for our trips, so have a think about that and how you want to record your trip. As I said, I will be the in-home contact for this. So every Scout trip has an official person that is in the UK that you can contact. Obviously, I will be on WhatsApp as well as a standard mobile phone. Or you can always phone the office here at Kent Scouts if for any reason you need to get a message to me. Okay, so I will be available, and I'm not planning on going out of the country anytime in August this year. We have our own kit list, so you've got two kit lists, but please check both. You've got the kit list that is on African Adventures MyAA portal that all of you can access. So if you don't know how to access that, ask Martha. You'll have her email address and she'll make sure you can get onto that. Okay, so you have the kit list on there, and we have our own kit list that we give you that is published on the Padlet. So we've talked about traveling wearing your t-shirt, necker and woggle. We've talked about your hold luggage, and you have 23 kilos personal kit, which is more than adequate for your personal kit. Okay, so if you took no donations at all, you could probably get away with one 23 kilo bag. We hope that you can maybe get some donations either from a local football club, might give you an old bit of kit or something, or some school, your school or your college might actually arrange a collection of some bras or some sanitary wear or whatever you might want to take. So there is a recommended list of things that you can donate and take out there. And you've got another 23 kilos. So let's take advantage of that and donate as much as we can to the school out there. They appreciate everything we take. Little bit on liquids in hand luggage. The rules are changing. Every time I go to an airport, this seems to change at the moment. But generally, you need to keep anything that you have in your hand luggage down to under 100 millilitres. Whether you have to show that or not as you go through, you will be told when you get to Stansted, because it can change. But keep it in a transparent bag so that if you do need to have it out of the bag and shown to them, fine. But last time I travelled, you didn't even have to take it out of your bag. You just had to make sure that your liquids were under 100.
They're more fussy now about batteries.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking like little batteries that you might put in an old school digital camera. I'm talking like batteries for tablets, power. So actually, that is a good point with power banks. You need to check what the rules are, because I can never remember which way around it is. But normally it's like you can't have them in hand luggage. It's got to go in the hold and whatever. So
if you've got any questions at all, ask us if you can't find it on the airline's website. So,
and just on the note of baggage as well, I highly recommend that you mix your baggage so that you don't just put all your clothes in one bag and then go, oh no, it's lost. Put some of your usual day bags that will go with you on into the cabin and up above you. Maybe put like couple of pairs of pants, couple of pairs of socks, maybe toothbrush if you're feeling like you don't want to be going.
We're sorry to say, but we have had people wait 3 days to get their main luggage. So you do need to have a little bit of emergency stuff with you. Obviously, if that happens, we help you and we take you to a market and buy you some clothes and things.
We don't need just naked.
But but you know, it can happen. The flights themselves, they are published on the MyAA portal, but here they are again. So you're flying out at a very strange time of day. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. So the bad news for parents is that we need you there sort of at 3:15 in the morning at Stansted. So you know, it's really up to you how you play that one. We've had everything happen. So some people book a cheap hotel room for 40 quid and sort of get there at 5 o'clock and just veg out in the hotel room till 2 in the morning and then come down to the airport. You know, so that's one option. You can drive up the night before and then sit it out in a coffee lounge, or you can time it very carefully and get there for 3 o'clock in the morning. Really up to you. And we've had every possibility. The main thing is that we would like you all there by quarter past 3, I think I said.
If you travel after 10 p.m, you won't get hit by dart charge.
Yeah, so you can avoid the dart charge.
Save yourself £3.50.
Okay.
So we're getting back as well.
It's not much better picking.
You kick the kids out of con.
It's a little bit better picking them up on the way back, because it's Wednesday again, which is a bit awkward, but it is at least 10:15 in the morning when they're going to plan to land. So our planned drop-off point is if you could get them to Cafe Espresso, please, for 3 a.m. or 3:15 a.m. I'm putting 3 a.m. And that's marked here. Okay. So 27, I think, is Cafe Espresso, which is next to all the check-in areas.
This on the Padlet.
This will go onto the Padlet. So that's our drop-off. If you're running late, just you can text either me as the home contact or get in touch with Lydia on the WhatsApp and just let them know if you're running late. Yeah. And then picking up. The landing is 10:15, so really you want to get yourself to arrival sort of sometime after 10:30. They're not going to be through within 15 minutes, so probably won't. Earliest they'll get through is probably about 11, and then that's the general arrivals area, international arrivals area at Stansted. But again, we'll put that on the thing. So that's all the official stuff really for this evening, unless anyone's got any other questions. we're going to have just a look at any donation issues that people have got. If people could show us what you've brought, if you brought anything, particularly if you bought more donations than you can carry yourself, then we need to know that so that we can share those out among other people. But this list of donation suggestions is on the website. Right, so we're going to watch a video to finish. This is a young person's thoughts about the trip. Okay, so that's just one person and the effect that it had on him to go. And you can see there that you're carrying on that legacy that Kent Scouts has started. And I really, really hope you have the most amazing trip. So, any questions at all? Big little clothes, yeah.
Not so much a question, but just to add back onto the whole luggage situation. If everybody packs their own bags, because remember from Ghana26, we had one of our leaders.
Yeah. We had one young man who, when asked if he packed his own bag, he answered to the African officials, "No, my dad." At which point they took him aside and went through every single thing in his bag. So please pack your own bag or save. Yeah, thanks for that.
Multi-tool. So some people do have pocket knives. I don't think you need to take them out. I think it's more of a risk, really, if you do. We had one young man on the Ghana26 trip. Took out a penknife that his dad had lent him. It was really quite special.
His granddads had given it.
Yeah. And the Kenyan, basically security at the airport, were very rigorous and were like, absolutely not. So even though technically a 6-inch blade can go through UK airports, you never know when you're in Ghanaian, Kenyan, whatever, they can kind of change their mind.
So that can go in your main luggage, and he should have had it in his main luggage.
Yeah, so I
took him all the way back through security, and we posted it to the UK, and then came all the way back through security again.
Like, are you okay? Do you think you're going to make it back through? Because I don't know if Ghana will be the same, but Kenya had really security. But so that's the other thing. You just have to go with it. Ghana might have like unusual things where you're like, why are we doing a third bag check? It's just what they do. Go with it. You'll be fine.
Cool. So let's have a chat about. Has anyone got any major stuff they brought with them, like donations? Yeah. So what have we got?